Today, we're at a station that had a really short life, but it's now serving its community in a very different way.
Hidden behind a new facade, we're at City Road.
Greetings everybody, welcome to another edition of the Hidden London Hangouts. Today, we're off to a place, I'm in Portugal at the moment and I have serious FOMO about where my chums have gone because it is such a cool location and the film is going to absolutely enchant you. It is beautiful. You will be leaning into the screen all the way through. I don't do this alone. I've got three people usually from the London Transport Museum to guide us through our location and make us laugh along the way. We've got two today. Siddy is in Iceland. I've already recommended the prawn ring, but instead we've got Chris and we've got Laura. So first of all, Chris Nix. Hello, Chris. You lucky, lucky thing, to quote Randy Crawford, I think it was.
Hello, Eric. Sorry to do this one without you. It was absolutely fab. And hey, I've got double celebration today. I've got my new Elizabeth line mug from the shop. Which is
look at that!
That's rather lovely.
I know. It shows you the interchanges and the kind of the
undulations.
Undulations of the track.
I mean,
it doesn't need an interchange mug. That's fantastic.
Yeah. The bit where Bond Street is currently a hole in the cup at the minute, but you know, it's coming. And I've got, you'd be delighted to know, obviously we've got the roundel, and I've also got my London Transport Museum mug out here in Portugal, so people think I'm a complete nutter. Laura Hilton Brown, you lucky, lucky thing, to quote Randy Crawford.
And do you know what? I had FOMO with Stockwell, so I completely understand the FOMO. I had it too. And to be fair, this is probably up there with some of my favourite site visits. It's a shame that more of us couldn't go, but it really was a bit of a gem, can't lie.
So, City Road, located between Angel and Old Street, as it would be now on the Northern Line, but what a history it had, and a short history really. And in many ways, that short history put pressure on Angel, which pushed that to be refurbished in the 90s. So a kind of a crazy old life really. But Chris, you've got a whole lot more on this than me. Just give us the potted history of City Road.
Yes, so City Road opened in 1901 on the 17th of November, and it was part of the extension north of the City and South London Railway. It sits between Old Street and Angel, and it wasn't a particularly well-used station, pretty low passenger numbers. And so in 1922, it was closed on the 9th of August. That was as the City and South London Railway was expanding its tunnel sizes. They were reboring it from the original 10-foot 6 size to the more conventional 11-foot 8¼ inches in diameter, so that they could put bigger trains through it. Now, in 1924, when that line reopened, they just didn't bother reopening City Road Station. Its lifts were removed and it became a ventilation shaft. However, wind forward to the Second World War, disused space below ground, you guessed it, it got reused as a civilian shelter for an air raid protection. And then in the 1960s, that station building was demolished and repurposed as a ventilation tower, which survived until fairly recently. In 2020, the site reopened as the Bunhill 2 Energy Centre, and that takes waste heat from the tube that is blown up through the ventilation fans through those old lift shafts, would otherwise just go out into the air, and it recaptures that energy, intensifies it through heat pumps, and uses it for usable energy for homes in the area, several blocks of flats, a school, and 2 leisure centres.
I love this because it's almost got resonance with New York. When you think about the way New York is heated, it's all done by almost central system, and the heat that's coming off the tube is actually helping to heat the local area, which I think is wonderful. Great innovative thing. But then you go and see the station below and all the history, and I've seen the film because I'm a complete control freak and I like to know what I'm doing before we start. But the thing I really love about this film is how enchanting it is to see Chris and Laura exploring together. It is so generous and so kind and so lovely. And at the back of it is a wonderful station to look at. Chris, I mean, you must be quite proud of this film.
It was lovely. It's really, really nice to go exploring with Laura again. We haven't done that since Romney Hythe and Dymchurch, I think, Laura, that's right.
The Laurel and Hardy duo was was a dim church, but before that, yeah, I think you're right. It's been a while.
The amazing thing about the building that we were going into is it's no longer a station. It's completely rebuilt as this energy centre, and this place is incredible. It uses waste heat from the tube through a heat pump to power over 1,300 homes, a school, couple of leisure centres, and it's got the capacity to do about another 500 or so homes. So amazing reuse of waste energy. But yeah, do you want to take a look?
Oh God, absolutely. And honestly, just be wowed by this. I think Siddy and I have got really serious FOMO about not being part of this film. It's so divine. Take a look at this.
So as far as secret doors to hidden spaces go, this has got to be up there with some of the best of them, right?
It is, and it's a pretty lively environment in here, isn't it?
I just don't think I've seen or been in a space like this before. I mean, the dust is incredible. There's a pretty decent breeze.
Yeah.
And as we walked in, hang on, I mean, that is, Alex should be impressed.
It's a Grundon special.
This is
the walking
deep.
over a grill. It is. It's about 20 metres down
Right.
to the bottom of that, and straight through a very powerful fan, which you can hear.
There's a lot going on underneath our feet as well, and above our heads. So, Chris, just kick off and tell us where are we? What's going on?
Well, this used to be the lift shaft for City Road.
Right.
And so you would have had 2 lifts for 55 people here. Wow, I'm having a Marilyn moment.
Yeah, slightly less classy than Marilyn, but
Boo-boo-pee-doo.
we'll go with it.
So, yeah, down there, if we just give it the beans.
Oh, look.
Yeah, that's even worse when you can see, isn't it? You just see the fan down at the bottom?
I can, just about, actually.
Yeah. So what we've got here is above our heads is the heat exchanger for the Bun Hill energy scheme. What it's doing is it's taking this warm air that we can feel and passing it through a heat exchanger like you would have, say, in a fridge.
And that's above us there.
That's right, this stack several stories high. And it's taking that energy and then using that for the district heating scheme to heat all the flats, the
Very
swing
clever.
baths and so on around here. So that's the job. It's quite simple. Just put a heat exchanger in this airflow and you can get some free energy out of it.
I mean, this is a very unusual space. It's not something we've kind of hung out in before on the Hangouts, is it?
No.
So I'm intrigued because this door, honestly, was so secret to get into. Chris knew I wouldn't be able to find it, so he said, Laura, find the door. So he's got me walking around the building trying to find it. It's just so breezy, isn't it? There's so much going on. I'm liking the start of this episode already. I'm very excited.
And I think the endless inventiveness of how disused lift shafts can be reused, it could just simply have been a ventilation shaft.
Absolutely.
But no, have an extra bit.
Repurpose, reuse, all amazing things to do, hey?
Well,
where are we going next?
Down below, can't you?
Oh my God, you can!
So, I think we should find some gloves and head in down to the bit below.
We're going to go subterranean. Excited.
Okay, let's do it. Well, we've made it inside, and we're now. Oh, helpful diagram. Just in what used to be the ticket hall, and new set of steps that lead down to the spiral that was the original spiral for the station. So
it's a little cosy, but let's go this way.
155 steps.
You can do that for breakfast, Nixie.
It's the going down is fine.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
coming
exactly.
back up, etc.
Ooh.
Ooh. Exciting stuff. This has a bit of originality to it, doesn't it, look?
You can hear a kind of distant rumble
White
as well.
glass tiles.
23.7 metres.
That is a fine fence, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sharpened spikes. Deploy the sharpened spikes. Okay, so it looks like we've got a more modern set of stair deck added in here. But, oh, should we do the down shaft?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh.
Looks like it's got a soggy bottom down there.
It does. An unintended water feature. Poke my head through here.
You can hear the dripping, can't you?
Can hear. There's lots going on.
Ooh, so we've got the air of the pushed around by the train, squeezing its way around a door somewhere.
So is that because we heard the tube and then the air afterwards?
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at these, look.
Oh.
Lovely join up of calthemite straws there. Cool.
It's a
Always
bit,
love a cave formation.
Charing Cross.
It is.
We're halfway, apparently. Somebody has informed
that's
us.
helpful.
Helpful. I'm glad I've got gloves on today. It's
Very sensible.
extremely dusty.
So here we go. We're at the
Ooh,
bottom of the shaft here.
here we are. Hang on.
That is a dinky shaft, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Nixie. It is.
Yeah.
There's a kind of sense of calm down here at the moment, though. Are you feeling it too?
Yes, there's the ever-present rumble of that fan as well that's through the door.
Yep.
This is an active ventilation shaft, and
There it
whistle
is.
of the train. So it's just the air forcing its way around the gap of the door. Well, should we go and have a look?
Where are we going next?
Well, you've got two choices.
I know.
Do you take that door or do you take that door? It feels like it's a Matrix moment.
Red pill, blue pill.
Yeah.
Aslan Wonderland.
Well, that one is the more lively of the two.
Absolutely.
Do you want to go into the calmer one first?
Let's do that. Let's
Okay,
do that.
let's do it.
So Chris has just informed me that we walked past some tiles at the top, and I went straight past them because they weren't as in good a condition as these, which are lovely.
Classic City in South London extension station, this one. So glass tiles, these white ones. It was only the white ones that I saw upstairs, but this one's got the border tiles. It's
So
great,
forgive
isn't
me
it?
that it was just the white ones.
We've got a tradition here, haven't we? Do
We
you want a
do.
bit of a wet wipage?
We should do it just for Grundy, if nothing else. Oh, look at that.
And these aren't even the
Oh, wow.
good ones that Jen sent us. These are just ordinary.
Yeah, we've used those, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They
No, I
clean
just
up.
didn't bring them actually. We've still got some left.
Look, I love that kind of licorice all sort black and white, that lovely monochrome. Oh, it's just delicious.
That's great.
Look at that.
These black ones, if you ever manage to get them off the wall and look through them, they're actually a really, really deep purple. One might almost say aubergine colour.
Okey-doke.
And so they're really nice because they're not just black. Can you see around the edges there? There's almost like a
Where you
purpley-
pointed out on the edge,
purpley colour.
I wouldn't see it on the tile at the moment, but then I guess, yeah, with a little bit of different light. Oh, there you go. It's got like a little...
But they really do their job, don't they? I mean, they were designed these white ones, just to send back a load of light off the wall.
There's
We've been
some
dripped on.
water drippage as well.
That wasn't me. Just
Oh, don't worry.
gently sniffing.
You were. Further away, it's okay.
That's
Oh,
great,
wow.
isn't it?
They are really nice. I love it when you find just these little nuggets of specialness on the
Yeah.
ways to somewhere.
Right, well, let's go and find some more nuggets then
Let's do it.
through the door.
Take the wet wipes.
Here we go. Oh, that's a live one.
Use your muscles.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
well, that fan's quite something, isn't it? Look.
It is. It's quite intense down here at the moment. There's a lot of dust,
So-
and the air pressure, you can feel it, right?
Yeah. Well, look, we've got a right or a left. I think should we head down to the left and go to platform?
Okay.
And then we can go and explore the fan. Wow. So you've got that tile pattern.
Yeah. So discoloured at the moment.
I mean, there's some epic dust bunnies down here, aren't
Oh,
there?
I'm a little.
I mean, just try not to think about it. Yeah.
Listen to that. So close. So close.
Wow. Well, that way Railway is definitely the track, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Chris said to me at the surface, he said, "Law, you're brave wearing short sleeves today," because he said it's going to be a bit breezy where we're going, and it is.
The thing is, that facility upstairs is all about taking this warm air and reusing it, so we are at least in a place with warm air.
It is warm. It is warm. I'll
Do
do
you,
that.
do you fancy going and have a look at trains through the door?
I absolutely want to
Let's
go and
go
do
and do
that.
it.
Hold on to your hats.
It is a bit lively, isn't it? Wow.
Whoa! I feel like I'm at Canberra Sands.
Well, I think we're going to have to hold on to the camera because that is quite fierce, isn't it?
I guess the only way we can kind of relay it is when you can see the kind of high vis flapping and the hair.
Yeah, well, not with me so much, but yeah. Well, there's definitely one coming.
I can hear it. We can feel it.
The thing is, that fan is making all of this air happen that we're stood in, but then you'll get a double hit of it when the train comes with the piston effect, so yum.
Dust for lunch.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a down street vibe going on as well.
It does,
with
it's the
door.
same kind of doors, isn't it? So these platforms got reused in the Second World War. Other platform. Oh, here we go, this is ours. Eyes front. You can actually just see the rise of the rail ahead of the platform.
Oh, wow!
So you hopefully noticed when the train came through that the lining of the tunnel is still there with the tiling, but the platform's gone. And they took the platform out so they could run trains at full speed after it closed. But during the Second World War, this was repurposed as an emergency shelter for civilians. And they put a blockwork wall on the edge of the platform, almost to the top, and they had a 2-level dormitory, a bit like at Holborn. So they could really pack a lot of people in here.
Just love how these spaces are kind of home to those amazing little kind of pieces of history. It really is amazing.
They're never wasted.
No, and all the kind of reuse and repurposing, and that we get to see these spaces and what they're being used for now is incredible. Dustily incredible, but incredible.
So we're in the southbound here. I think we should go and have a look at the fan and then get ourselves
Nip over to the north.
tunnel. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I could be washing that dust out for weeks, aren't we?
It's off the scale today.
Look at the size of these.
Chris has lent me his Uber Duber torch today, so I'm very excited about this.
We're going to need it here.
I'm on strict instructions to look after it extremely well. Oh look!
Right, there's the source of the noise. Pretty mahoosive, right?
It is.
We'll head down.
We've been in the top section, and now we're right at the bottom section. It's so noisy!
So noisy. Should we head down? So officially, bottom of the lift shaft, and there's the sump. So this would have been the entry and the exit ways to the lift originally.
Yep, okay.
Right? So, yeah, just watch the pipe. High up on the list of the noisiest places we've been.
What, like, an assault on the senses it is, in a really brilliant way. But I'm feeling quite, trying to take it all in. It's just the fact that people used to like walk along these passageways, go into the lift here, like we're in this route where the hustle and bustle of people travelling all those years ago. It's just crazy.
I think you nailed it. Assault on the senses is about right.
It is, isn't it?
It's almost like going to North End, Bullerbush. Not quite as oppressive, but It's certainly up there. My first visit down here was in February, and it was cold as well. So yeah.
The rumbling of the tube, that kind of constant fan going, the difference in the size and the kind of structure of the spaces, the tiles. Oh, it's just incredible.
Yeah. Right. Well, should we go and have a look?
We've got more.
We've got
There's
more. There you go. There's out the door.
Now we're at the northbound track.
I don't know about you, these things might be absolutely filthy, but I still love the fact that all of that detail is still there hidden beneath the grime.
Why is it looking kind of glistening? A bit sparkly?
Yeah. Oh, that'll probably be because a lot of the dust on the underground is made of essentially iron filings from the wheels and
It's
the
not
braking
fairy
pads.
dust.
No. So it's just tiny little bits of metal.
Gotcha.
Right, here we go.
All the little bits of rubbish caught in the door frame.
Oh. And once again, I always love that the danger, beware of trains, shows a steam train, even on the tube.
Toot toot.
Well, I guess if we wait long enough, there'll be another train along. Well, do you enjoy that?
I did. Chris, don't you think it's like that familiar story of low footfall, and so the station kind of comes to its demise in that capacity? But then obviously the regeneration and the repurposing of it, but really unusual space today, really unusual.
It is. I think that early disuse means that it's had plenty of time to get reused for other things. But it's been great to come and explore with you. We haven't done any for a bit, have we?
It's been a while.
Well, we'll take away some good memories from this place, I think, won't we?
Do you know, I have spent the last few minutes leaning right into the screen to watch that again. I love that film. Okay, first of all, Laura, I'll come to you because the tiles, the glass tiles, for goodness sake, the glass tiles and the aubergine, and I've spotted this, Chris, with you, black seems to be tiled or created using a very, very, very deep purple sometimes. You must have been loving that, Laura.
Where that crack was that we showed in the clip is possibly the closest I've seen to it being that kind of deep aubergine colour, and it's absolutely beautiful. It still blows my mind that these beautiful tiles exist in these spaces, because really that space was, I mean, did I say it enough in the clip? It was very dusty, and the noise was intense. It was quite a crazy space to be in. So you'd be forgiven for walking past something and missing something. Not when Chris is there, because he spots it all. But the tiles were lovely. I can't lie. And we talk about this a lot on the Hangouts and the Hidden London Tour programme. These spaces that their journey begins as a certain kind of dynamic, and then it changes. And obviously that was quite a short life. We refer to it being a very short life at City Road, and their intended purpose isn't quite fulfilled. And in a way I find that quite sad. But then if you flip that, you've got this great situation now where it's being used for something completely different. And, you know, we started off in the top of the lift shaft, ended up in the bottom, and what different uses were going on. It was really good. It was really good.
I was absolutely loving that film. There's something so brilliantly innovative about using just excess heat off the system to do some good. Because normally it just gets out of a shaft and it's just gone and it's into the atmosphere. But I love the fact that they're harnessing it. But the other thing that I've always thought, and I know we cannot do it, and I would love to do it. I mean, God, could somebody make this happen? With a tunnel like that, where we saw all of those original tiles there, I've always thought to myself, because when they used glass tiles, it was always because the reflectivity was so good and it made a little amount of light, whether it was gas or electric or whatever, it made more of it. I would absolutely love to pressure wash one of those tunnels. So we see for ourselves the difference between ceramic and glass tiles when it comes to light. And that walkway looks almost intact, Chris, with those tiles.
Yeah, there's quite a few which have dropped sort of fragments of tiles. So my fear is if you went at it with a pressure lance, you might just strip the lot.
Rip them off the wall.
But I love it.
Sneaky tile, sneaky peek for the Patreons as well, which is a pretty special moment, which really brings to light those different colours.
If you'd like to support what we do, then go to the museum website at ltmuseum.co.uk, find your way to the Hidden London section, the membership tab within that, and then you can see the different ways to support us through Patreon. And thanks to all those people who've done that. You'll see them at the end of the show, or some of them at the end of the show.
Now, I was thinking as well, I've often thought to myself, for the right party, I would consider going in drag. And I was thinking to myself about City Road, having seen what we've seen today. If you want to come up with a drag name for me, by the way, just drop a comment underneath the YouTube, all right? I'll be very interested to come up with. I've got a few of my own, but I can't put it on a public view. But I was thinking what I could do, if you allow me to, and maybe put a high-vis over the top of it, is go in a skirt and do a Marilyn Monroe over the grill, because I noticed that Laura was teetering on the edge with her high-vis flapping. I wondered whether I could get away with it with a drag outfit. What do you think, Laura?
You've taken me by surprise there. A, I have no idea what names are going to come back, but kind of excited to see what does. And B, I have a sneaky suspicion you've already got an outfit in mind, Mr. Grundy.
Well, this Zoom sort of broke up at that point. I don't quite know what you said there, but thank you very much indeed for that. I do enjoy that. So some photographs. We need to do a few pics of this amazing place, Chris. You selected 7 of the best.
7 of the most available. It's not a very well photographed station, in fact, but we do have some interesting things in the collection. Let's start with where it is. So this is a line diagram, and you can just see on the right hand side there between City Road, between Old Street and Angel, you'll see City Road.
And can I just double check, what year was that made? Because I love the fact it looks reminiscent of what we have now.
Yeah, this is from 1922-ish, so it has to be before then. It's not exactly recorded what year this is in the collection, but it's pre-1922.
Now, we love our maps, Law, and as you can see from there, immediately my eyes are just flitting. Clapham Road.
Yes, that's exactly what I was looking at as well.
Hennington New Street. I'm very disappointed that my nickname that I still use, The Bank, isn't on there, but we've got obviously City Road. We've also got King's Cross, but not St Pancras. How fascinating is that? I mean, this picture in itself is a time capsule. I love it.
Change for motor buses as well.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. And that's a line diagram. That would be in the tube train, would it?
Yeah.
Oh, just fabulous. Oh,
so if you think that's good, take a look at the station itself. This is it in happier times.
Now, that's really interesting because, I mean, obviously in my lifetime, it's only really ever been a very straightforward brick structure. And before it was clad as it is now, it was a very unremarkable looking building. But that is really cute, isn't it, Law?
No.
I love that, by the way, where it says underground to anywhere. That's a bold statement, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean,
anywhere. I can't wait for it to come to Portugal. That would be great.
I'm going to the moon.
900. That'd be brilliant. Look at that. It's lovely, though. And I love the ornateness of that top. You know, the very high line of the building. That's gorgeous as well. Always reminds me of those windows above the arches. They always make it look like a prison. But I do think it's absolutely cool.
The architect's one that we've seen before, Phillips Figgis, who did a lot of the CSLR station architecture. It's quite reserved, isn't it?
But in a kind of way, I like it. It's almost like with a little sort of archways. It's a little bit of a forerunner to Leslie Green's Oxblood Red. You know, when you look at it, it doesn't.
Yeah.
look immediately like a City and South London building. It's not got a dome on the top. It's not got any of the things that we might assume there to be. But it does, I don't know, it's like a prototype for Leslie Green.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is the same ish era, isn't it? It's only a few years apart because this is the extension stations of the CSLR, not the original 1890 ones.
What else have we got on there?
Well, the next one is this little workman's ticket. So this part of the selling point of the CNSLR was that it was affordable and the classes weren't separated in the trains like they would have been on most other railways at the time. And so you had these workman's tickets that were only available early morning and on Mondays through to Saturdays. And so here we go. This is one from Euston, which could take you to City Road or Old Street.
A workman ticket. That's so fascinating, isn't it? As we unpick the history of the tube, I love the detail. I love the fact that even a ticket has got an onion style history layer upon layer. It's just so cool. And the fact that it was a generic ticket for either City Road or Old Street to Euston, the same fare. So interesting. What's next?
The other way that workmen used to travel around, because it was quite affordable, was the tram, which also served that area. And here we've got a lovely LCC tram poster. Always love an excuse to get one of these out because they're generally very, very striking in their design. This is one from 1930 by Frank Marsden Lee, and you may see that it mentions City Road down there, but is luring you to the country charm of Hampstead Heath and Ken Wood.
Laura, come on, this is your baby. What do you think?
I really like it. I like the use of the kind of colour of the tree being the same for the main kind of, I guess, headline on the black kind of print at the bottom, because I think then it kind of, your eye meets that kind of orangey brown colour, if that's what it is. That's what it looks like on my screen at the moment. And just the very simple use of those kind of bold colours in the print as well. It makes me want to go to Hampstead Heath, and I guess that is the aim of the poster. Do
you know what I really love about this poster is the colour of that tree trunk? And this goes back to when I used to go and see my nan, and in the evenings the light would pool through her front door. The glass in her front door, and it was the most beautiful colour orange. And ever since, I've always loved evenings in London because it's that golden hour just before nightfall, and that to me says Hampstead Heath at dusk. And it's such a beautiful colour. I absolutely love it, and I like you. I love the fact it's picked up on the typeface as well. A beautiful, beautiful thing. You could almost imagine that framed, couldn't you? It's just lovely. But yeah, London at dusk, the most beautiful colours, utterly beautiful colours. What else we got then?
Available as print to order from the museum shop, so you could have it framed.
Get in.
Another poster which we've seen before, which is there to illustrate that process of the reboring and the reopening of the City and South London Railway in 1924, and it's kind of out with the old on the right, with the CSLR loco and cars in sort of shadow almost, and in with the new, the standard stock train on the left-hand side.
Now, I've got a question for you, Chris, and sometimes I throw googlies at you, and if you don't know this, then feel free to edit this out or to say, why stop asking me such impertinent questions, Alex? But you know, on the City and South London Railway, there are a number of platforms which were islands. There are a number of platforms, like at City Road, which were separate.
Yeah.
Was it that island platforms were generally used at places which were for a time a terminus, or was there no particular formation? And I don't know enough about the south of the Northern Line, around the Claphams, to know whether that's of any resonance. But Angel was once a terminus. Euston was once a terminus, so they both had islands. And I just wondered whether there was any reason for it.
It's a very good question, that one. Clapham North would be your anomaly because that wasn't a terminus. It's believe it's more to do with the fact that it was less expensive. So you remember the thing about the wayleave and the being below a street, if you can be, when you're building tunnels. So an island platform is more compact than having the more conventional now 2 tunnels side by side with a platform in each tunnel. So it was a method of economy.
It's economy. You're right. Okay, so it's economic. Cool.
Yeah, only the City and South London Railway did it, and it, of course, has been undone in almost all places apart from Clapham Common and North.
And we've talked about this before in previous episodes, but if you're new to this, just in a nutshell, Chris, wayleave was all about the fact that if you built under buildings, you basically needed to buy the land above to dig underneath.
Yeah, you needed to either own the freehold of the ground above, or you needed to come to terms with the freehold owner. Whereas if you were tunnelling beneath the roads, then there was a thing called wayleave, which allowed you to tunnel beneath them without having to acquire the freehold of the land above.
Now, I guarantee if you can find this sort of information delivered in this method anywhere else, tell me, please, and we'll stop ripping them off, because we think we're original on this, all right? Now, City Road met its maker eventually, and as always, they created a dazzling poster for this, didn't they, Christopher?
Stand by, hold on to your boots. It's a great thing of beauty. Oh, no, sorry, it's really plain.
You know what? That's like an Instagram arrow, isn't it?
Well,
it is.
I thought it was quite an interesting one, because look how many flights it's got.
Yeah.
More is more, right?
Yeah, we all went straight to the arrow. That's the most interesting bit, right?
6 flights on an arrow. Normally, 4 would be as many as we'd see.
And it's got the Johnston typeface, City and South London Railway, the underground roundel with the big U and the big D. I mean, as you say, on the face of it, it's dull, but actually, because we know what we know now, there's loads of detail in here.
There is, and as you can see, during that period of closure for the City and South London Railway, everybody's favourite, the rail replacement bus, was in action.
But even back then, that's incredible. What do you think, Laura? You're our poster girl. What do you make of it?
Do you think people, even when they saw this poster, went, "Oh, it's a rail replacement bus"?
Well, they did try.
I love
Look.
that the motor buses are painted blue and cream, and they run at frequent intervals. I mean, let's be honest, it's just a very functional poster, but it is important. And I do like the arrow. And I want to go on a blue and cream motor bus too, to be fair.
I'd love that. Yeah, it'd be so cool. It's a very, very nice poster. And finally, because the story now ends with of City Road ends with pure joy, really, and use and positivity and harnessing heat and all that kind of thing. There's a picture of the actual energy centre itself. Look at that. I mean, blimey, that building's changed, isn't it?
So what you've got on the right-hand side of that that brown-coloured building is where the former lift shafts were. And that's where you've got the heat exchanger, which is collecting the waste heat from the vent shaft as it's coming up out of the lift shaft. And then on the left-hand side, you've got the power section, which then takes that waste heat and through compressors and heat pumps, it turns it into useful higher temperature energy with which to heat the flats and the leisure services and school that are in the area. So it's quite a complicated thing. You've got both gas and electric power station effectively next to that heat exchanger, balancing, topping it up, working out which is the best source of energy to use at that exact moment, from the spot price of gas versus electricity versus the heat from the tube, and balancing it all out into a reliable, consistent, but very, very economic and a very environmentally friendly way of heating that many homes.
I just love it. I absolutely love it. What a beautiful station. I mean, Laura, this, you have to admit, this was a cracker of a visit, wasn't it?
It was. I do feel lucky that it's the one that I could actually make it to as well. I mean, this section isn't like the prettiest of buildings. What's really nice, Chris has captured this. The day was beautiful, as you can see, super blue sky, and the light is just allowing you to see the kind of design on that kind of mesh kind of style of outer building. That was actually really pretty. And if you look at the grey tiles at the bottom, I was obsessing over this slightly. And if anybody knows the answer to this, I think Chris and I thought the grey tiles have small blocks on them, and it looks like it could be the streets of the surrounding areas. That's what we came to the conclusion of. If anyone knows what they are, my mind is obsessing over what they were. But yeah, the site visit, genuinely, as I said in the clip, it was a bit of an assault on the senses. And I think anything, like you said, that can repurpose something to be environmentally friendly, that back in the day wasn't living out the journey that it was supposed to, for me is a really nice story. I really like it.
I just adore that place. What a lovely, lovely episode. We're not ready to go yet. We've got a couple of notes, queries and questions. And I'm going to seek your advice, Laura, on something, because I just need to sense check something with you. First of all, we've got some lovely comments. Wubba Lover says, hello, Hidden London Hangouts team. Love the YouTube series. Just a quickie. Does Mornington Crescent still survive? You're abroad, aren't you? You're abroad. And if so, will you be poking around it at a date in the future? Thanks again for the most enjoyable and educational series. Love, Warren. Yes, it does, Christopher, doesn't it? And if you don't mind me saying so, of all of the Leslie Green stations, that's the Oxblood Red stations, that have been refurbished, I would argue that Mornington Crescent is the most beautiful job.
Well, it's very much open, so no need to have us go and explore it for you. You can explore it yourself. And as you say, it was one of those very early refurbs when the Underground first decided to try and keep its heritage rather than strip it away and replace it. So it's retiled with replica tiles. They're a particularly beautiful shade of blue and cream. So yeah, I think it's a very striking station when you go there, in a good way.
Yes, beautiful. And you know, the fire doors as well, that when you come out the lift and you walk towards the platforms at Mornington Crescent, all the big fire doors have got these, and I think I'm right in saying this, I've got Bolection mouldings around the frame. They're like Victorian doors, and they've got these beautiful Bolection mouldings. They are replicas, I'm sure, but they are stunning. Every bit of detail in that station, I adore. You would love it, Law. It's so pretty down there. And that blue, it's not cobalt, it's almost deeper blue than that. It's really gorgeous station.
I'd like to go just to see that shade of blue then. Very, it sounds super nice.
We'll take you to Coco for a bit of a dance afterwards, darling.
Oh, added bonus.
Also, if you want to see the former lift winding equipment from there, we have it at our depot at Acton. So go there on an open day.
That's interesting as well, because when the Mornington Crescent was shut for a lot of years because they didn't know whether they were going to reopen it because it was going to cost so much to replace the lift. So we're very lucky to have that station back. It was only because obviously somebody looked down the back of the sofa. Tail Wag Leader says, next Hidden London, can you all try Shoreditch? Now, I'm assuming he means Shoreditch, the old East London line station, rather than the Shoreditch that's there now. But it's beautiful. We could do that. Can we have a little look around there, maybe?
Yes.
Very lovely. I'm American. I travelled to London for many years, love the tube, and these Transport Museum videos I've been absolutely loving. Thanks, says Ms. Time Lady 71. And oh, Darren says, I'm going on the Charing Cross tour on Thursday. Can't wait. I've got loads of my mates merrily booking Hidden London tours.
Yay! That's what we like to hear.
Excellent one.
Now, the question is, Laura, do you think I should show Chris the gift that I've bought him?
I'm going to go with that's a 100% yes.
Okay, right. Now, occasionally, I just like to do nice things for the crew because they're just lovely people. So when I was in Porto recently, I bought Laura some really lovely ceramic coasters, and they are actually 3D. They've got a relief on them. They're gorgeous. So they're sort of mimicking the tiles, the azulejos that are all over the buildings in Portugal. They're absolutely lovely. So you like those, don't you, Laura?
I'm literally waiting for you to come home. I want to see you, but I kind of want to see the tiles more at this moment. Sorry.
That's all good. Now, when it came to Siddy, I know that Siddy absolutely loves wine. Okay, so I've got her that, and I'm going to get her a nice bottle of wine. Now, the reason I did this was because Chris, Laura, Siddy and I are being invited to a really lovely party to celebrate effectively 100 years of a company that makes moquette. And we are very, very excited about going. In fact, when it was cancelled due to a COVID outbreak a couple of weeks ago, I think a little bit of me died inside that I wasn't going to get to party. However, it bought me some time to get you, Nixie, a bit of a gift. Now, I've pulled it.
He looked like half worried.
Terrified and delighted at the same time, as everybody should be with a gift from me. Now, I pulled in a few favors. I've sought permission for this. I have been granted it and graced as well. I've pulled in a favor with somebody who makes these, and I'm very delighted to say in this very, very beautiful box, there are these. We are both going to wear.
Packaging's exquisite.
We are both going to wear these, Nixie, for this do. All right. Are you ready for this?
Lift it up a little bit.
Okay, are you ready for this, guys? This, Nixie, is what we're going to wear for this do. I need you to wear a shirt and a jacket, okay?
Oh my goodness me. That is fantastic. I mean, that's not just a shirt and a jacket, that's a shirt and a dinner jacket, surely.
Isn't that lovely? So these are the Bakerloo Barman design made into bow ties. My lovely chum at Mr. Bowtie, or Mrs. Bowtie, did this for me, and I'm so delighted. So we are going to look like bells of the ball at our moquette event.
I feel like we need to try and make some kind of arrangements for Laura and Siddy as well.
It'd be fabulous. But I just thought to myself, I love giving gifts to everybody, but as soon as I thought about it, Emma at Wallace Sewell, she said to me, she said, of course, we can do this.
That is brilliant. Our fundraising dinner next year, I'm definitely wearing that as well. That's genius. Thank you.
It just goes in more colours. So there you go. So anyway, there you go. Thank you very much indeed. If you like us, subscribe and follow on the YouTube videos down below. And if you watch us on YouTube, then find us on Instagram, Alex Grunden, Chris Nick, Siddy Holloway, Hidden London Law, and at LT Museum. Laura, thank you so much, beautiful, for just exploring in the most exquisite way. I just thought it was an enchanting film today.
It was a really good site visit. It was a beautiful sunny day, and we emerged ridiculously hot and dusty, but it's all worth it because it was really special when we were down there. It was really strange going from the kind of platform side back into the spiral staircase, because as soon as that fan kind of stops vibrating in your eardrums, you kind of have this sense of calm again. But it was really good. I'm sorry that you didn't get to make it. I'm going to propose a tour swap with you, Alex. If we can take you back to City Road, you can take me to Angel, because I didn't go on that site visit before Christmas.
Oh God, I would love to take you to Angel. I would absolutely love to take you to Angel. You know,
do it. It's a deal date. A date deal. Don't even know what that is, but it's one of those. It's
a deal date. Let's do City Road first, because it's dry dust. Because when we get to Angel, it's damp dust, and I don't want to stick in it. You know, it would be awful. We'd look like muddy messes. And Mr. Nix, as always, thank you so much. A huge thank you to Chris, by the way, for getting these things sorted, because we're off to a party, babes.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited to do that. Thank you. That's very kind of you. And Laura, great time exploring together. Thank you for that. It's great.
Beautiful. It was great, and thank you for my my coffee and chat and download afterwards, because I think we were all really excited. But it was a good one.
I'd love it, absolutely love it. We've got a really busy week coming up next week. We've got the party, we've got bell ringing, and we're also off to Bond Street next week to see the Elizabeth Line station's progress. So it's going to be a busy one for us, and then we will shove all that lovely content your way in the coming weeks. In the meantime, have yourself a great day and stay safe.